All right, another new edition of AIdyn Chronicles came out. That's awesome. Found it in just checking out the Reddit. We have over 200 members now, which is awesome. Glad that we broke that milestone there. And just got the notification from one of our friends here, a fellow fan, Vitamin D3. Appreciate you posting this and letting us know about it. Um, yeah, it came out of the blue to me. It was just one night at work and I saw this, and that's awesome. So yet another build released, yes indeed. And I hope someone here can find out more, all the differences. I think I did. I think I found a couple at least. Yeah, the L plus R at the beginning, it'll turn on. It'll show you the addition of what the game is, but that's about it. There is no debug or anything like that. Menu or anything. And then yeah, the Forest of Illusions are the ones that are hosting it, kind of like Hidden Palace for the other editions of the game. They do have a Twitter. Definitely would recommend checking them out since they're doing some good work preserving the Nintendo's history, all that good stuff. So hit them up on Twitter. This is their actual website where the ROM is located, and just wanted to show a little bit of the different things that they're doing and everything, posting code, preserving ROMs, all that good stuff. And yeah, if you really like them, you can always go to their contribute page and consider donating and helping them out. So I'm sure they would appreciate it, that's for sure. And I would too. And then the releases, yeah, they got all kinds of stuff on here. I haven't even had a chance to go through all of it yet, from releases to the different game systems to, I don't even know. I need to go through all this stuff. Personal computer was one of the sections. Cool little site too. I like the graphics and the animations too that go on around it. So definitely check out the site. I had to give a special contribution here before we get started to who actually hosted it and posted it and everything. So, but yeah, a couple screenshots and everything you can see right there. Camera's already different from the actual original release. So yeah, this will actually be the longest video I think I've posted yet. So get prepared. Even got a picture of it too, so that's pretty awesome. And then yeah, special thanks who posted this: Anonymous, EHW, and Inichi. I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys. And yeah, there's a download at the bottom of the page. So yeah, with all their contact information and everything again. So check it out. Love the artwork, by the way. Wow. All right, and then after this, yeah, I think we're gonna get right into it. So you'll see not this screen, the next screen. Yeah, there you go. So you can see the version, beta, yada yada, December 5th, 2000. So it was a little bit before the 2001 release. Yeah, just going right through it. I already had some save files and everything, but it's the same options, new game, load game, and there's normal and then high resolution since I'm on the 8 megabit mode. But then there you go. This version has the 32-bit color mode that got scrapped. So there you go. You already got your first difference. The background I didn't really show it or fast forward it with the F4 frame limiter skip thing, but it only goes around Guernia. It won't go to anywhere else like Aramon or anything like that, or the desert. And then I typed in !flee because just to show you that this, and then I think I showed somewhere in the video that there's no codes. You can't enter any codes whatsoever, unfortunately. So I had to do this all legit. No cheating, no nothing, which actually is probably a good thing since I was trying to find all the differences. But yeah, right there you saw that the camera starts at an upward angle, so that's a bit different from the actual official release. And then this is the only thing you can see at the bottom left there. It's kind of like, I think, GPS coordinates for where you're at. That's the only sort of like difference, debugginess you can see in the actual game. So yeah, I couldn't get any other than what vitamin D3 was saying by holding the L and the R button at the beginning. I couldn't get any cheat codes or anything, any debug versions to pop up. Yeah, you can't enter any cheat codes. And yeah, so gonna have to do it legit. Looks like the same stats and everything from when you first start. Same menu, same map, journal entries. Everything's pretty much the same from here, but trust me, it starts out, this video will start out slow, but as the video progresses, you're gonna, towards the end here, you're gonna see some pretty interesting finds that I found, especially once we get out there further into the game. So, but yeah, I just wanted to show you the intro. This is just the, yeah, you lose to the goblins, poisoners and all that noise. And our first difference isn't going to be until, it's not actually the dialogue. I believe this dialogue is all the same. There are a lot of dialogues that are different, but I caught a few of them, but I know there's got to be more, especially from later on, the ones that I've actually found. So I'm hoping this video will just help shine the light and help people get to certain areas of the game too and everything, and maybe our more experienced, higher level lore masters will be able to find more cutscenes and dialogue that did or didn't exist or have been altered, because some of them use their old names. I think in here Kendall was actually Jasper in one of these texts. Here's Jasper's hat, the farmer's hat, or Kendall's hat, being held by the lady here in this cutscene. But yeah, there are a lot more dialogues, I'm sure, that I didn't even find that are different. But that was the main thing here, is just the first thing I wanted to show and highlight was, yeah, lady was going to hold Jasper's hat, or Kendall's hat. Why? I don't know if it was going to have any other significance or just holding it because you found Jasper's hat, or Kendall's hat, laying on the ground when you're coming this direction. You literally can't miss it. I don't think you're physically able to, regardless, because you can take one path or the other. You have to hit the path, and this cutscene will trigger where you actually get the hat. So, oh yeah, right, in the background, duh. So the shadow spirit plane that you're in right now, it kind of was supposed to have some wavy, moving, kind of air, water-ish looking texture, and it's just a solid texture in the background. So yeah, you can tell that they were kind of working on this too. That was another thing. Yep, Changrat and everyone looks the same character models and everything. So even the Flamehead has animations too. So good stuff. But yeah, here in the journal entry, you can see, yeah, it says Jasper instead of Kendall, and that was his name from the actual original, I guess, way early days. Here, yeah, so I'm outside of Yorwood, and from what I remember playing the beginning stages of the game, Aileron was able to open all these treasure chests. There was one here, there was one up there, and you could pick it, open it up. One had a large shield, one had an armor, something else in it, has a random chance of a couple other things. But yeah, you have to have a high enough thief mechanic level in order to open those. So that's a bit different. They actually made the game a bit easier so you could actually get more treasure a little bit sooner versus in this version. And yeah, I was just showing that you could clip through a lot more walls. I don't know if you could see through those walls like that as far. But I just wanted to include that little piece there. And then, yeah, this is the Namer's Ring. But instead of spell battery, you get stamina. So, I don't know if I equipped it here or not. But yeah, if you equip it, it doesn't actually give you stamina, plus 10 to stamina, or increase your overall hit points. So maybe they were in the middle of just, that was a placeholder to be stamina, and that's supposed to be, yeah, where the rope is. You can't get the rope yet either. But maybe the stamina was just a placeholder name for spell battery, and they were just working on getting spell battery in the game and working properly. So yeah, and then there's a lot of these, but I just got a couple snippets of some of them, of the textures being off. Like obviously this one right here, as you guys, I'm assuming will all know, is that that's supposed to be a running river, but it's covered up by the sand. So yeah, that happens in the game. Quite a few different spots actually. I think I'll show a couple more. There's like a ladder and sides of the mountains and stuff like that, but yeah, they're working on that. And some areas of the game, or houses and yeah, rooms and stuff I should say, are just inaccessible. Like this one, it just crashes on me. And it doesn't matter what time of day or what angle I've done it. I've done it on the 4 megabit mode and the 8 megabit mode. It don't matter. You're not getting into this house. And it doesn't generate error codes like how it would with the picture and the green screen and everything with the error codes in it. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. Majority of the times it won't. So yeah, so I don't know why it aired out on me. And then for vendors, I guess it just automatically gives you different diplomacy level if you enter and exit a building. Because like this, I had to enter, leave, and enter to get him to sell me stuff. And it changed his mind, because I guess if you're low enough and he doesn't like you, then he won't sell you stuff. And then if you re-talk to him and exit the shop like this again, he'll sell different things. And it's just cycles through his entire inventory that ended in the end game, in the vanilla release version, I mean, of the game, I should say. But yeah, you'll see some vendors sell some interesting things that are different. Some of the items, yeah, like the throwing knife, have just the question mark that shows up in the like the debug version of the game too, that we got released, or the pre-release debug version, whatever you want to call it. So that's a bit different. And then yeah, this vendor, of course, the first 2 vendors here in Guernia sell level 1 skills except for Merchant 3. So that's still the same. But yeah, it's just so weird how you have to keep talking to them and to mess with their vendor to see what they'll sell. I mean, will change. And then like having it'll give you a different diplomacy level if he'll even sell you something every time you enter and leave. And then this, you see the V0002 at the top left there. I don't know what that's about, but that happens a bit on the Knights rolls, on books, and even some random chats throughout the game. It's different V codes. So yeah, and this I just wanted to show you. So after you enter in the castle for the first time, Abrakan, that's literally one of the only times you're going to get to see Abrakan. His dialogue's there and everything, but unfortunately the room that he's in along with Traherne are like the past house where you can't enter that house. So, oh yeah, there's another V001 right there under Lonely Mountain. But yeah, the room where Traherne and Abrakan are at after you talk to the king and you do the little Knights Roll speech with him, you can't enter, so he is not a playable character, unfortunately, in this version. He doesn't show up, and you can't get into here. Look, you can see it just freezes, and yeah, that's it. It sucks. The coordinates are still there, but yeah, it freezes. So yeah, why or what's causing it, again, since it doesn't generate error reports, I can't tell you. But yeah, no Abrakan, no Traherne, but you can get Traherne's sword. So, and then sometimes, like, I don't know if it'll glitch out like this and you have to, I had to enter and exit the room again, but like there's supposed to be a cutscene that plays here with these 2 guys. And when you first get back to the throne room, I couldn't get it to trigger. You would hit the button to try and interact with them to see if it would do it, but it would just lock me in place and you could do a little spin around, but that was pretty much it. Like so yeah, exit, enter, re-enter the room if it ever happens to you. And so this is me trying to get to the building or the room with Abrakan again from the other direction, and it still freezes. It's just that entire room. Oh, and then it breaks on me, right? So yay for RAM issues and other breaks and whatnot, like from other past builds of the game. So, but I tried my damnedest. And then yeah, this one's for Brenna again. Yeah, it was just showing off the V003, I believe, is what I was trying to show here. Yeah, at the beginning of the conversation there. So don't know what that is, V003, but yeah. So I don't remember there ever being any encounter here when you go down into the laboratory where Godric is, and there being bats and rats down there with him, enemy encounters like this. So there's one here when you first walk in. Pretty simple, easy, you know, just a bat and a rat. There's Godric, and then same once you get Trahern's sword or key, excuse me. Then there's the 2 rat fight here as well. So just found that to be different. And yeah, so afterwards, this is with I raised my mechanic to try and unlock this, and then Thief is just 3, just showing you that actually you have to break the trap. You have to disarm the very dangerous trap, and then you also have to have a high enough Thief level to even open these 2 boxes. One that has on the right here has the Mace of Glory, as we know. So they made it easier in the finish game because there was no mechanic disarm trap check. Because imagine that if that made that into the end game, and new players would come down here and just accidentally, or they would break the box and just not think about, oh, well, maybe they could fix it or come back later or something, and they would just lose out on their Mace of Glory and everything. That would suck. So it's nice that they did that. So, but yeah, here I came back later when Brenna was all maxed out and I got everything. And then Mace of Glory, I believe, is the same stats. So, yeah. But just, I don't know. Just thinking about that, imagine how many other boxes too are out in the game, or the traps that they didn't make it so you had to disarm them and then have a high enough Thief is super nice. So thank you, developers, on that one. And then so this, when you leave with your 2 other people, I can't get Abrakan. Normally a cutscene would happen right here with Brenna, and you would be forced to take her. It doesn't matter what you choose in her dialogue. You have to take Brenna with you in your party. I even tried getting out of it in the debug version, and I got an error code and it wouldn't let me leave the castle without Brenna. But in this version, you can literally just walk right past her. And if you truly wanted to just gimp yourself and not have a 4th party member, you could do it, or you can go up and interact with her, and yeah. In the inn, so here, okay, so yes, I wanted you to pay attention. So 2,316 gold, and then Alaron has 1,440 EXP points. And then when you were to talk to the innkeeper here, after you clear out the goblin and the bats and all that stuff at the bottom there, then he gives you money as well as experience points. Now, I don't know if it was that much or at all in the finished versions of the game, since there's 3 of them. We'll talk more about the versions later. But from what I was gathered from the devs before, it was going to be a thing that multiple, not just from this inn quest here, but yeah, you would have been able to get XP and gold from portions of the game quest too. I was trying to show you that there's no restoration potions. Did you see that? So, yeah, Godric starts at level 3 alchemist, and he doesn't get it. So, no restoration potions. Journal entries are cut off, like right here. You know that this continues on. It says he something something, and it cuts off. But, yeah. So, yeah, I'm doing this with no cheat codes, no extra money glitch from restoration potion making, crafting with Godric. So yeah, the struggle was real, I'll tell you that, doing this. So this is just showing some enemies, once the majority, or you kill the leading enemy, the top left one, they'll start fleeing and stuff. Well, sometimes they can't flee the battle, and they'll just sit there and you have to walk up to them and smack them. This, I was just trying to show off that, yeah, you can't, pick up all items at once. Like, you can drop all the items at once. You have to sit there and click each one to actually pick it up. Yeah, okay, so this, isn't that goblin model a little bit smaller than what I remember? Like, I thought the goblins were the same size, even the scouts were the same size as like our main characters, but that one seemed a lot smaller um, than any of the other ones that I saw, that I remember. Yeah, so here another one of those V001 things. So yeah, that's happened now with multiple conversations with people, as well as on Knights rolls, and then I think something else too. I forgot already. But I'm sure I'll remember once I get to the clip here. And then yeah, here's the random textures. I've seen these in the swamps. I've seen these on the sides of buildings, on sides of mountains. You can kind of see, I tried angling it to where you can see that, yeah, that was supposed to be an extra stone or rock over there. And then this one's, yeah, so I'm just showing off the same thing again. This is a ladder, or ladders, 2 of them going up there. So it's just the same kind of blank, white-ish texture background there. And then even it kind of protrudes, or, you know, pops up words right there. There you go. There's your angle. So you can kind of see it, like it was supposed, they wanted to, I guess, make it hang over the cliff edge. So, yeah. Oh, ogres. So some ogres have the giant axes in the game, but a lot of the ogres just have club. Just the standard club that Aileron starts out with. Not even the big club that like the Cyclopses have, which would probably look way better with the big club and the little nail sticking out of it. But here they have the little teeny tiny clubs. So they look really weird, in my opinion, versus them having a giant axe. I think this was the same, where it was, yeah, prices to be expected or cheaper, or this is highway robbery. And then muddle-headed, yeah, this scroll or spell you can learn is basically the same one that stupidity is, I believe, where it'll lower the enemy's target's intelligence. So we'll play around with that a little bit more later. But yeah, the vendor there sells it. And then, yeah, listen to this music. Totally different on the second level of the Aramon throne room. So yeah, basically in this is just going to keep going on repeat over and over again. But yeah, this is the first song that was different, because it just played the standards music that was down below from before. So I found that interesting. And then also all the female Aramon ladies here, they're all, there's 6 of them up there total. There was never any other Aramon folk up here before, so I found that interesting. And there you go, back to normal music once you go down below. So interesting. They were going to have a different music track. I don't know if there was going to be more into this upper level, into this room, but there's definitely different music. And then, okay, yeah, this is Warfang, so it has an aspect requirement now. And yeah, a little bit different from what I remember. You don't have to have the lunar aspect in order to use it. And then, like, so Beacon can't learn sword, so he can't even use it. So we're gonna use it playing around with Godric here in a few. And the question mark throwing knife, yeah. And then, yeah, okay, so Moon Gym, same thing, but it has that detect moon phase and a lower intelligence level, I believe, than the Finnish game. So, bit different. I'll show you what that does again if you haven't watched my debug version of the game, because it's the same exact result, spoiler alert. But yeah, it's yeah. Oh, right. No swirly little wind curve that goes up out of that little hole there. So that's different. Yeah, there's your Warfang with Godric being a boss with it. Looks a little funny using that weapon, but yeah. Yeah, detect the moon thing. So you can't do it on an enemy. You have to do it on yourself. It doesn't work on NPCs or other allies. You use it, and then you get a breakpoint. Good times. So yeah, I was just showing, it's the same exact dialogue if I remember correctly. That's why I kind of ran through it so fast. But after you do it, after you defeat the hobgoblins, um, he's still there. You can hit it again, and he'll just keep going, and you can keep doing the same cutscene over and over again. And then also the ladies that were up here disappear, but the same different music track keeps playing. Um, so that's the end of that. So yeah, if you ever really like talking to the Aramon King guy here, you can listen to his dialogue as many times as you want. It won't disappear. He just stays there, but it'll let you keep progressing the storyline, because it'll say, I think I'll show the journal entry that it shows that yes, that you did it, and it'll go through. So you can go do your dinner with the one lady. Here, so yeah, it's the house normally with the blue windows, from what I remember of where the two other Aramon ladies were at, that you had to go into and talk to them before the dinner. But they're not there, and you can't even go back down the ladder. Some of these ladders, it'll lock you up there, and you have to go around. So the house is different, and the ladder sucks. But at least we could still get the gold. So where I found the two ladies at before the dinner you need to talk to, yes, is the house all the way here, the cave on the far left. And it's the same dialogue again between the two of them, if I remember correctly, which could be wrong. Don't quote me. But yeah, you had to have that conversation with them before the dinner would trigger down below. So that's a bit different placement in the housing instead of the blue house. Big difference? Nah, not really, but maybe it kind of made me think in other areas and parts of the game that maybe other NPCs could be in other places. Godric just kind of fell in. I like that. So in this story, this dialogue here, I've tried everything. I tried, again, changing it for megabit mode under the 8, doing it at night during the day, but it always freezes at this picture, this frame here. What's she doing when Rita says, what is she doing? And I can't get around it. If you have Rita in your party up to this point in the game, it's gonna crash. You can't go any further. I tried my damnedest to keep Rita, but you can't. She has to go have an unfortunate accident. There you go again. There she is. So it's the same thing. So unfortunately, you will have to kill off Rita, and or just don't take her at all at the beginning. So yeah. So here you go after the dinner, and no more Rita in our party. Look, you get Crowdow's body, and you can't inspect it with the question mark, or it'll crash your game. You don't get the little twig or the stick that you would get from the Mirari Queen. So yeah, you get a dead wizard's body instead that you can't examine. But again, luckily, I thought that wouldn't let me progress since I didn't have the stick when we get to Talwalk. But guess what? It will still let you go. FYI. Just looking at other merchants. Yeah, so here's neutralize poison and wind. And it kind of, the words, the texts, is kind of overlapping one another, and neutralize poison has an aspect requirement of lunar, or at least it appears to have a lunar requirement, which, damn, that would suck. Imagine if you were a part of one of the 4 schools and then your character wasn't lunar or solar and you couldn't get that one spell. So it even restricts you even more for your spells. And Wizard Hat, same thing. Stamina instead of spell battery, or actually spell, or 1 to armor too. It was supposed to give you 1 or 2 to wizard, I thought. Not protection and stamina. And then you put it on, and or no, I didn't put it on, but yeah. Okay, speaking of wizard though, so it doesn't matter where you find the spirit in the game, either at the beginning or all the way out in the desert. If you talk to him and interact and you do the battle scene, he'll actually cast the versus spell, the naming, the element, all that good stuff, which is actually it says he does that in the official player's guide too. But in the finished version, I've never seen him do that. He just starts running towards Alaron. He doesn't cast all the verse elements and stuff like that. So that's a bit different, but yeah, that was in the official strategy guidebook, which I never had for many years when I first started playing this game. Would have probably helped me out a lot. So, but if you guys meet each other in touch, then it'll automatically do this cutscene, and you will merge with him. And as a matter of fact, it's not just like, oh, it accidentally and it'll play the cutscene. It actually gives you, like, it plays out, like you get the journal entry and you get you get the bonuses. It jacked up my wizard from like 1 or 2, I think he was at this point, to 10, and it gave me all of the these spells to 10 as well. But it didn't give me any experience, as you saw. I think it only had like 7,000. I think it gives you like at least 10 or 20 plus thousand experience points to spend too in the finish game. But yeah, at least maxes out your wizard, which is expensive, and those spells, and you have that literally before you go to the 3rd town of the game. So yeah. Oh, I'll be quiet for this one, because listen to the differences from the finished version to the background noise. It's kind of weird, the sounds it makes. Okay, so yeah, basically it just keeps repeating that weird, like, breathing sound. Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's kind of creepy and eerie. That, and it didn't make the noise when the goblins struck the villagers in the town and they made the dying noise. That wasn't in there either. But yeah, I thought the background sounds, those were weird. So, a bit different there. And yeah, going into Talwalk again, Abrakan is not here. Because even if you didn't select Abrakan, he would show up here, right? Next to the Knight's Roll. And you could pick him up if you wanted to at this point of the game. He's not there. So maybe he got stuck in that glitched room of the kitchen that he was in Guernia Castle, and he just never got to ever make it out of there alive. And he just died in there in this version or something. And then I was going to show, yeah, so the guard that's supposed to be where Audra's at, Andrea, she yeah, that guard's same dialogue will play down there on that first level, and then it'll play there on the second level where he's at, and then here on the third level he's also there too. I thought that was kind of odd. So I don't know if they if I mean I don't know if she was gonna be on a different level or something, or what would cause that to have the same guard spawn on all three levels like that. But anyways, yeah, the wolf packs behind Talwalk's castle here, or wizard school. Usually the top left ones, both of these guys here in the top left, would be spirit wolves. And this is a really good grinding spot for this point of the game if you wanted to gain a couple levels. But here they're all wolves. There's no spirit wolves here. So yeah. This one I'm just showing you. Right. So after you finish the Dryad Forest, and you're gonna start going to Port Said, here's Neeson. Neeson, actually, this is the only time we're gonna see him, FYI. Yeah, in the game. So he shows up, the dialogue's the same and everything. I didn't know if you needed to talk to him in order to make him spawn in Talwalk or not, or whatnot. I know there's the vendor guy on the left side of the inn you have to talk to, but yeah, this is it. I'll explain more when we get to that point about his whereabouts and my theories on where he is and what happened. But yeah, this is it. Yeah, he even talks about, the same dialogue, talks about Rita and what she's doing and what he's doing and yada yada. So it's pretty much it. Goodbye, Neeson. Up at the bridge, sometimes there'll be two Artoriuses or two Keelans. I've had multiple results. For this, I was just showcasing that, yeah, it's the same kind of thing like with the Keen and Abrakan's deal, to where you can just completely bypass them where they're running around and, a cutscene's supposed to happen there. Well, you can just not deal with them and not talk to them if you don't want to. Just walk on by. Or if you do talk to them and then you recruit Artorius and, get Keelan or whoever else you want in your team, and they're there, yeah. So I think I was just showing off. Yeah, it doesn't really say that Artorius joined. A lot of the journal entries do and do not show, and like some of them are cut off and stuff. Some of them don't even appear. We met Keelan. Yeah, I saw the one about Keelan in the party. But Artorius will always stay here. He will continuously respawn and respawn even if he joins. So here's the dialogue I'm just showing again, that you can get two Artoriuses, but in this party, if I wanted to kill off Keelan, I could get a third Artorius. I don't know why you would want to have three Artoriuses in your group. I don't even want one, I'll be honest with you. I'm sorry if you're a Notorious lover, but he's usually one person I pass up on. Yes, I have messed around with him and I played as him in my parties and stuff, but he's not one of the top choices. But in this game, in this version, you can have three of them. But I was gonna say, I was talking, sorry. But the music sounds a bit different here in Port Said, and then also getting into the into the basement here is a little hard. You have to run forward. I don't remember it. I think it was a bit of an issue, but not that bad, to get into the underground. And this bandit has, yeah, he's got a face of an actual villager. He's not an actual bandit boss. So yeah, I was just showing that off. And then yeah, same thing where all vendors, including this guy, what he sells will change depending on if you leave and enter, re-enter, exit and leave. But listen to this music. So, didn't that sound like almost it was just like playing the same song over each other, like double? Because now it sounds like it's just playing the single version, the normal version. And then, oh yeah, clipping through walls, climbing and doing stuff you're not supposed to be doing. This is one area I found that I ran into. Sometimes on the rocks, sometimes here on the sides. You can just glip right through. You can't go back now that way. So if you do this, it's going to be really hard to get back out of it, and you're just kind of stuck in here. Why you'd want to do it, I don't know. It would really suck if this didn't get fixed, because especially if you haven't saved for a long time and you had to reload your old save, yeah. But here I think I managed to get out of it. But this isn't the only area, but this was like a pretty significant one I just wanted to include. I thought was funny. And again, I'm using the F4 on Project 64 to do the frame limiter skip thing. And then there you go. So I ran into the wall so many times, so fast, so hard, whatever. Now I'm actually able to get out of it, and it automatically pushed me. I didn't even run that much. And now here I am back out in Port Said, and I got out of it. And that guy, yeah, he wants to jump off a cliff, apparently, literally. So, yeah. And there's our spirit again. So we can rejoin him again if you wanted to, and merge. Again, which has no benefits from my understanding, at least from what I saw. You still get the same benefits and no experience, so it's not worth doing. But you can if you want to. Medallion of Ehud. So there's another old name reference. So Ehud actually is Shamsuk, and it has the stamina instead of the spell battery, and a aspect requirement as well of lunar. So, but yeah, more old names, just like Jasper and what was I showing here? I don't know, but I was just doing the Keelan thing, and yeah, showing you that, yeah, like stamina stays the same. It showed 10-15 stam. It didn't up the stamina like it says it gives you +2. And then, yeah, same place. There's your lighthouse scroll that you need to use, that you don't actually use while you take it up to the lighthouse and light the fire to the lighthouse so you can leave and go to the islands, correct? Well, if you hit select on it and use it, then you can learn Dragon Flames instead and say screw it. You don't have to use it to use the damn like the lighthouse. You can just learn Dragon Flames instead. Which I thought was interesting because, yeah, you can't do that in the finish game. So, and then, yeah, we find the lighthouse scroll, all that good stuff. And then, yeah, it's not in, because I used it for Keelan for her Dragon Flame, remember? So now when you go to the top of the lighthouse here, you would think, okay, well, now you can't light the lighthouse because you don't have the scroll in your inventory. Well, all you do is walk up to it. It's not moving. You hit the interact select button and it pops up and starts spinning. No animation, no cutscene, no nothing. It just starts spinning around, and there you go. That counts as you hitting that flag or event or whatever, and you can move on with the story now. So, screw it. Use your scroll to teach someone Dragon Flames instead. Sounds better. In this version, anyways. And just the first part of the Jester conversation, it's all the same, but I think it was a different dialogue. Yeah, Jester 01. So how many other Jesters are there? You're the first Jester? Or is he the first clone of the Jester? You decide. And then here's the town's completely missing. It's not loading at all when I go in and out of this house. You have to walk up really close to it, and then it starts lagging. And then there you go. Everything spawns in. So I don't know if that's ever happened to anyone else in the finish game, but that was interesting to me. And then leaving Port Said, yeah, to go to the islands. So he like falls and drops down. A lot of people do that actually. Godric did it, he did it. You'll see it a lot more too throughout some of these scenes. But I think the only thing that was different that I wanted to showcase here is, yeah, the placement's off. And then there's no water. Look what happens. You're just floating in air. There's no water on the sides or anything like that. So yeah, that was a bit different. You're just floating or sailing on air, and then when the griffin fight happens, they drop down, but you don't fight them. It just skips, and there you go. He drops down, and it's over. That's it. No griffin fight. Which tells me, on this time frame, I would think that I was actually excited. I was hoping that we would have got the squid tentacle arms, but nope. And then here you go inside the Chaos Temple. There's our hidden door. And there's no hidden wall behind it or movable wall. And you can actually walk close to it like this, like that. I had to do it with the chicken in the debug version to get this close. But yeah, you can't interact with it. You can't do anything to it. But it's there. Again, you can clearly see it's a door. It was gonna go somewhere. There's some significance to that door, that area. But you just can't access it. Not in this version either, sadly. So that one's still a mystery. And then I don't think you ever got to talk to one of these guys. There's one of the Chaos minions out in the desert, but yeah, this one says, hey, this dialogue isn't borged. Well, dude, this dialogue never got borged, because from what I remember, he was never in there. And then after you finish the island fight here and the wizard is dying and is dead, like you don't see him. You don't see a tiny miniature version of Crada here. Like, look how small he is compared to Halloran. And you talk to him, and it's a Mirari text dialogue. So I found that interesting. And what I didn't show, I don't think, is the two teleporters down below do not work. Either of them. Even after if you tap the one underneath the Talwalk Wizard School, doesn't work either. So FYI. At least not for me anyways. And then moving on to the swamp area. Yeah, it's showing Brenna's portrait. But then I'm getting Brenna's... I'm getting Rita's... her character model is showing. So I thought that was a little weird. I think it only happened one other time, but this was the one I was able to record and got to consistently work. So yeah, that was strange. So many bug fixes you can see that they were working on fixing. If you think, like, here you go, here's a different portrait. Instead of the actual guard face, it's a townsman's face. But yeah, if you kind of are in the same boat and feel that AIdyn Chronicles, the first Mage, was half-baked and they were still working on it, then this is like a quarter-baked version of the game. And here you go, here's a vendor that's selling Crada's body for 0 gold. And you could just buy a bunch of them if you really want to. Why have one and bury it when you could just buy 22? And he doesn't want to buy them back. So once you have them, that's it. There you go, 28. Why not? Let's carry around a bunch of dead wizard bodies with us. But yeah, there's this dude in Terminator who will sell them to you. And then, okay, the boots of speed, so the restoration potions don't work. You can't learn those with Godric. Well, maybe now at this point I can dupe or sell the boots of speed. Buy them for lower, sell high. Buy low, sell high. Right? Like in the stock market. Well, boots of speed, it doesn't work. Yeah. They cost way more, like 14,000. Yeah, you can sell them for 8, so you can't make a crap ton of easy money here at this point of the game either. And then here's the table. There was no table, long table, and 4 chairs in the finished version of the game. So that's different too. And this is going to meet Mago, and his friend here as well. I think the dialogue's the same. However, he's teleporting around instead of staying in one spot. I don't remember him doing that. My memory could be fuzzy, and he might do that, but look, he just skips and jumps. I'm like, dude, what? So maybe he can't walk and he likes sitting in his rocking chair, but he can definitely teleport around. Maybe he knows the spell. I don't know. But then regardless, if you talk to either of them again after you've had your conversation, it's the same dialogue for the lady up above. And she's the one telling you you can or can't enter into the house, yada yada. And yeah, you tell her, yeah, that one the innkeeper sent me. Okay, so here, you see the banners, you see the door that's up there and everything. That looks like an entrance to a castle to me. And it's even complete with guards. That's different from the finished version or any other version of the game that I've played anyways thus far. You can't get in the door. I've tried mashing my face against the door and interacting with it, but look, the guards have dialogue calling you smelly, and you smell bad because, I don't know, you're a Guernian or you look funny. But yeah, they're extremely rude. 2 tasks you must do to enter in the room. Okay. To enter in the castle. Did you see it said the castle? They told you have to take a bath. And yeah, he's not laughing. Yeah, you smell like a big slop. Task 2 is drop dead. So take a bath, and then drop dead. And he's being serious about it. So yeah, they were a bit rude. And it doesn't matter if you talk to that guard or this guard, same conversation. But yeah, you can see when the wall's clipping there behind it, there is no castle or anything else you can see behind that wall, just like in other previous versions. But this was obviously going to be a castle. It had guards, it had banners, it had a door. There was gonna be a castle here, confirmed. Can we see models or what it coulda, shoulda, woulda been? No, but I'm pretty sure I can at least confirm that, yeah, this was going to be a castle. At least in this version, anyways. You can see that it was going to be, and then they 86'd it. So, goodbye, Terminer Castle. And then, so here's what I'm talking about. When you first enter in Terminer, the poem survivors and the horse, they're supposed to spawn. At least in any version that I've played, I remember them spawning. The innkeeper's outside, and then this lady will spawn later on after the first initial interaction and everything, which I was able to talk to her and get the asp. But the poem survivors never show up. I've tried multiple things. I've tried, again, the 4 megabit, the 8 megabit version. I've tried excuse me, what did I try? I tried not merging with my spirit self to see if that was jacking up the journal entries or something, and that hit a trigger or a flag or something. So you can't do that didn't work. I tried different combinations where I completely didn't even talk to or use Rita whatsoever to see maybe since she's connected kinda to Neeson, if that would make Neeson spawn, because you need Neeson to get into the Shamsuk's tower. Well, without Neeson, he's not spawning inside or outside the tower, then that's it. Or inside the town, that's it. So here's my theory. This big long table, it messed up his dialogue, it messed up his spawning, his trigger point, and or in some way to where maybe Neeson, he actually is there, but he's a tiny version, kind of like the wizard, and the table just smashed him and killed him. Or something like that. Or I don't know. So he's dead. Maybe Neeson died from the death by table. Physics got the best of him. You can't deny or beat physics. Sorry. So you can't get Neeson into your party. So that means you can't get into the tower, because the tower is not going to unlock to have Neeson. So that sucks. So I guess that's the end of the video, right? Because we can't do this in correct order by getting into the into the tower, which means we can't do the cutscene with Oriana. We can't go into the desert. We can't do the final battle. Because no Neeson. So I started going backwards, and since I merged with my shadows, oh yeah, walking in place, Mirari lady. I thought that was funny. I went backwards since I have Wizard plus 10 and all the spells maxed out. I figured I'd look at other spells like, oh look, there's Escape. There's an Escape spell, and there's an Escape belt that's also in the official strategy guide too. If you've ever looked at all the inventory. All the items, I mean, in the actual magazine itself. Strategy guide, I mean. So I'm going to grab that, and then we're going to test a couple more spells, like the Neutralize and the Wind and stuff like that I saw. Those are the only... I think these are the only ones that I saw. And then, yeah, this is Wind. But I purchased both of these just to show, like, that aspect thing needing to be lunar or whatever. It doesn't matter because obviously Aileron is solar, but it still shows up on the side texture there, text. So maybe that was legit going to be a thing where you had to have had to be a certain school and a certain aspect to learn a certain spell. But that got changed, luckily. So anyone from whatever school can learn whatever. But yeah, the muddle-headedness, so that was the -2 to int per rank. So definitely just like stupidity, they just changed the name of it. Yeah, there's your neutralized poison. It cut off the text there at the bottom. So maybe that's why it was mashed into one line instead of two. And then yeah, it just casts, and there you go. You can make the ogre dumb. If you have a high enough level, yeah, it will incapacitate him basically. So, and then this one's, yeah, Wind. So I just wanted to show that that spell was the same and it worked normally on either, if you use it on, yeah, an enemy, or yeah, you can cast it on other people too, other teammates. And then yeah, neutralize poison. So no one's poisoned, so you can't use it. But then escape, yeah, there's escape. And how it works is if you're close enough to another party member, it'll auto cast it on them, and you can't cast it on yourself. See how she kind of disappeared? So, but what I did was, yeah, if you move away from all of your other party members and you just cast it to where it's only you, then it'll cast it on whoever, which is Aileron, and it looks just like Wind. And then you just whisk yourself away, and that's it. Escape has been cast on Flea or Aileron, and it shows like you're dead, but the battle scene keeps going. You can see the snow keep falling, and yeah, I sped it up, but that's it. Nothing happens. It just soft locks your game. So assuming that's why they took it out. Wizard wands in the game, yeah, same thing, stamina instead of spell battery, and +1 to wizard from these zombies here. So I was just showing that that was there, and just like a lot of other items that were supposed to have spell battery don't have it, they have stam instead. So there's your zombie fights that you can get a crap ton of wizard wands over and over and over again. And then outside the tomb here, remember after you exit and enter the tomb, enter and exit the tomb, this wraith's in front of it? Well, it's actually a wraith. It's not a second Lizard King, so you can't get a second Lizard King axe. The Lizard King's in the game, behind the tomb, but yeah, you can't get a second one. It's actually the correct fight, just FYI. And then this is, yeah, so yeah, I'm lost for words what I'm gonna do next, and just looking over all my journal entries and everything, I couldn't continue on in the game, so I went back into the tunnels of Aramon, and I looked and I saw that, oh look, that the queen is here, and that's not right. Why would she be here? I've never seen her spawn and do her little cheer animation like that before. Usually she'll show up much later after you finish in the desert, but yeah. So I thought that was weird, and it just, yeah, fades to black, and that's it. So I figured, oh, well, she's here right there. Why not keep looking around in the caves and see who else is spawning and what else is happening? And yeah, she spawns, if you saw the journal entries, where I'm supposed to be in Terminator going to Shamsuk's tower, and she's here talking to me, having the dialogue. Like, I've already been through the tower, I dealt with Oriana, I went through the desert, and you're gonna go into the dragon and get named by the dragon. So you literally skip 2 major areas of the game. And yeah, not only is the dialogue there, but you can actually progress. So we're doing things from here on out in the video, we're doing things out of order. So FYI, I don't know how I'm going to break this down into timestamps on this YouTube video, but yeah. And then when you get the key, it's key 18. I'm pretty sure that's not what the name was of the key in order to get into the dragon's little cavern area. I'm fairly certain that it was something different. And then I just had to include this just because that damn mushroom. Damn. Oh my god. It was in this version too. In, yeah, December 2000 or whatever. The mushroom was there. They had several months. You know what? I'm not going to say anything, but they knew about this mushroom. It was there for a while. And yep, it's still there. You'll still get stuck. And yeah. And then moving on, yeah, once you're at the dragon's lair, yes, you can get into it. But again, I don't have the horn. I didn't go through the desert. So how am I supposed to get named, right? You're supposed to have the horn. You're supposed to have, yeah. So, I'll show you, yeah, my troubadour skill is at 5. So yeah, and again, just showing the journal entries. I didn't go through the desert. You saw my map. I haven't been to the desert. And I like how Aileron falls. But yeah, you'll talk to the dragon and he'll have the usual conversations with you and everything, but then he won't like your singing or whatever, and he won't let you get named. You'll wish upon him and ask for him for the strength and yada yada, and are you a human or a child or man or whatever, da 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 da. But yeah, it's talking like, I'm gonna use the horn to play you this song and prove myself, or da 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 da, and yeah, with the song, and he says, you're a weak human, remove yourself, blah blah blah. So yeah, if you go back and do it again, same exact conversation, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he just says you're weak, and then that's it. So I'm like, okay, well then that's it. I can't get named. I don't have the horn. He's not letting me continue. Well, I came back. I leveled up a little bit after I got all the treasures in the cave, and I went from 5 to 8, and then I came back to the dragon, and look what happened. You pass the troubadour check, and it will let you, in fact, get your true name, even though I don't have the horn. I haven't been to the desert, but hey, screw it. You have to make sure you choose the right dialogue option, though, too. Yeah, you play the Darkling Hills, yada yada. And yeah. Different music. Definitely different music. I remember him actually talking and whatnot. Him like making different noises when he was moving his mouth and stuff. But yeah, the animation, the the entire cutscene itself, other than the sound effects and the music being different, this is the full cutscene. That's the exact same in the Finish game. Just like I would to actually have had the horn in my inventory. So, yeah. Again, we're just going out of order. This quarter-baked cookie is... quarter-baked something game is yeah. It's something else. Yeah, cutscene at the end plays and everything. Like you actually got named. Blah, blah, blah. And now it's saying, yeah, let's go home. Like, we're going to finish the game now. Like, this is it. Yeah, it doesn't even say, like, what happened. It just, yeah, the last thing was I joined my spirit self. I tried scrolling back up, seeing, well, maybe it's out of order, and it said something else, but no, not really. So that's it, but that triggered the next dialogue or flag trigger, so you can go back to the Gornia Castle now. And then, oh yeah, Belt of Escape. I haven't. I thought this was supposed to be Belt of Teleport here, but instead you get Escape, which Belt of Escape is also in the official strategy guide too, if you look it up in the book as well. And the spell Escape works the same exact way as learning the spell itself. So it'll just soft lock your game, so don't bother using it. But it's there if you want to pick it up. And then after you get named, then there's 2 queens. That's the one that, yeah, will just fade to black and it doesn't do anything. And then this lady's here as well, and it says, yeah, sorry, this dialogue isn't finished yet. So maybe different people put in different things, different editors of the devs or the dev team, because instead of saying, sorry, hey dude, this dialogue isn't borged, it just says, sorry, this isn't here. So I found that to be kind of different. But then as I was going to go back to Gornia Castle to see if the chaos monsters spawned and all that good stuff, and I thought we saw the last of Abrakan because he died in that room that he was never able to escape. Here he is, and a cutscene plays with him, even though he's not in my party. And yeah, I'm pretty sure like this is the same dialogue conversation if he were in your party, would talk to you and say to you before you actually go through to, yeah, he's talking like, yeah, final lesson, yada yada. So this is what would happen or play out if you were to go this way. So that's different. Yeah, see, he's not at my party, but there he is. This one, what was I trying to show? Oh, I think, so I don't know if you saw in my inventory from before when I was scrolling around, but you see Aileron and Beacon can learn the shield skill, but Keelan and like characters like Godric can't. But in this version of the game, everyone can equip a shield, even though they don't know the skill. It'll allow you to equip them. So I wasn't really able, because it doesn't show, sometimes it does and doesn't show the stat increases or decreases. But yeah, so I don't know if it actually, the protection armor counts from the shields, but you're able to equip shields. They're not going to appear in the battle scene like they have the shields on them. Kind of like same with Ferris, the Jester. If you were to keep him and he can learn shield, then yeah, it gives him the bonus from my understanding, but it doesn't show. And then, okay, this one is a pretty rare cutscene that not many people have seen or been able to play. In front of the tower, slightly up to the left, is the in-person swamp version. If you go up and slightly to the right, it'll play like the dream sequence version, like at the beginning of the game with Kendall's hat and everything that I showed you. It kind of seems like your first meeting Shamsuk for the first time, and this is supposed to be a dream sequence. He says, I'm going to introduce myself, yada yada. I'll let you guys read this one. Okay. So, yeah, that was that rare scene that, from my understanding, a lot of people haven't seen. I don't, again, my memory, I'm not the lore master here, so I don't think I've seen it either. But, excuse me. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this. Like I said, I can't get into the tower. I've tried slamming my face into all the walls, each side, here and there. Maybe I tried getting behind the tower and getting it to where I could like frame skip over, like in past versions, to like above the tower and see if there was like an extra door or something up there I can hit. But it doesn't work, so I figured, oh, I'll just continue on to the desert. The Jundar bandit cave up in the hills, pretty much the same exact damn thing. Same music, same items, rewards, everything. And I can't get through the gate normally, so I figured, you know what? Maybe let me see if I can slam my face into some mountains and do some mountain climbing where I'm at here. And actually, I got super lucky, and yeah, I'm gonna go up there. I found a way that I could actually get into the desert. It took me a little while, I'll say that modestly, and but yeah, I thought maybe there, maybe here, over there. I tried every like sort of nook and cranny that I could think of, that where there was some seams, where there was lines, edges, like there. Which that didn't make it to the finished game, FYI. But at least there, I was able to get up and get all the way over, so I can get into the tower, into the desert, and I can at least show you guys. And this takes some time. If you didn't have the F4 frame skip limiter thing, this would take quite a while, and you have to angle it just right to do it. So you see, right as I got to the top there, you have to get to the seam. And that's the highest you can go. You have to get all the way to the top there, is the main thing. So, there it is. Yeah, I slowed it down a little bit. Okay. And then, yeah, you got to walk over. And then once you hit that little seam, it kind of gets a little bit harder. You have to angle it just right. And then stay at the very top as you can, or else you'll fall and it'll push you backwards. But if you do it right and you push on forward like this, then you keep walking forward. Again, frame skipping it to move faster. And there you go. Now I'm inside the desert. You don't need to use the portal. You can just run through that one little crevice area. And then I'm just showing you guys this one more time. Just to let you see where it was at. I want to show you one more time, just because it can be a little bit difficult where it's at and everything, and how to kind of angle it and everything. But it's, yeah, that seam, and plus it's better lighting right here. Just so then that way, whoever wants to attempt to play this version along with me, you'll at least be able to get into the desert. And again, yeah, that's the seam right there. Right there, you have to make sure you're all the way at the top. If not, it'll push you downwards. And then there's your... Yeah, it'll automatically start pushing you down, but if you angle it and you keep running, you'll fall right there, and instead of going backwards, it'll push you... Just keep making you fall down from upwards from where you were there. And as long as you don't wander off too far from the beaten path and you just go in a straight line, then it won't crash your game, to where you can just run through just like this. You can see where the barrows are at and just run towards the barrows. Don't stop. And there you go. You're in the... Yep, there's our little friend down there. But you are in the desert. You've made it. And then before we continue, I was going to talk about the versions. And so here's the two pre-release versions that I found initially, like a year ago. And I did reviews on both of these bad boys. And yeah, these were early 2000s, in February and May of 2000. And they were the ones that were super different. Super different. Available both on Hidden Palace. And you can see from the one we're playing now on December 5th of 2000 from May 9th, 2000, the one here on Forest of Illusion, they're calling it a beta version. That was the big jump. That was the big difference right there, was between those two. So yeah, you can see how dramatically from May to December it changed. And then it's saying pre-release, which is the debug version on Hidden Palace. It was the same release date, February 2nd of 2001, from the lot check to the pre-release version. That lot check is 1.0, which is the original gray cartridge. If you still own a working copy of the gray cartridge of the game, then that's what it was, is the 1.0 release. And then the 1.1 in the PAL down below. Those are the black cartridges that are more common that they mass produced. But yeah, the debug version came out the same day, or was released for the debugger, for the developers, same day, February 2nd. And then not too long after that, they realized, oh crap, there's problems. The game's still not fixed. It's not just like, it's less half-baked than we thought. And we need to fix stuff. And so that's when they released on February, and then in April, the other, from what I believe is the PAL is supposed to be the European edition version that went around, worldwide instead of just in the US. But yeah, those are the three versions. That's the timeline, because what I'm about to try now, it will make a little bit more sense. But yeah, from April 27th, 2001 to the version in February 10th of 2000, huge differences. But okay, so for those of you who are probably part of the speedrunning communities and they're thinking, oh, well, is that still there? Can we glitch it and use it? Because why not? I mean, you can literally get into Tal Walk and then immediately jump into the desert and do the desert thing. That would shave off a crap ton of time. So I just did the version, and this is the February 2nd, 2001 edition. So again, that's that 1.0 gray cartridge edition, lot check version. So that would mean this is the very first official release of the game that I guess speedrunners would be able to use, that would qualify for as being legit original copy. And as a matter of fact, you cannot use it. So during that time frame, between the beta version on December 5th, 2000, the edition we're reviewing right now, to February 2nd of 2001, they fixed it. The Collision guys, the testers, I tried my damnedest. I tried on the mountaintop here. I've tried other spots of the mountains to see if you can climb up the mountain, but it doesn't work, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it. So just FYI, I figured I'd include this little portion of the clip so I can save everyone time that is considering trying to speedrun it and try to play and go up the mountains like I just did. Well, I'm sorry to say, but nope, you guys have to find another way to shave time off your records. But anyways, moving right along, now that we actually did break into the desert, listen to this strange music. You guys all know what the Jundar theme sounds like, I'm assuming by now, but listen to this. To me, it almost kind of sounds like a battle music, with the 4 megabit version, not the 8. And then yeah, as you move away, it kind of fades out. But yeah, little different there, huh? And then yeah, Shola's here. And it's the same kind of thing with her. Is her quest line's buggy as shit, how to get her to join you. I made a video of it a long time ago, but in this version, make sure you have a character slot open. And in this party, I had Rita and Beacon, and she joined without hesitation. There you saw in the dialogue, her intelligence is 20. It's not 30 like it was in the final version of the game. There's another one, Web of Starlight, has to be lunar. Well, she's solar. Or solar, not lunar. Yeah, you know what I meant. So that was another spell. But yeah, I'm gonna try out the whole glitch, that bug that made it into the tips, glitches, and more video that I made. Is after you save and load the game, it would lower her intelligence down to 3 from 30. Well, in this version, her intelligence is 20, and I saved and I reloaded, and it stays at 20. So jumping her up to 30 did something and jacked up her int code stuff. So yeah, and then this guy, I swear, after Terminator, there's like one in each town now afterwards. I know it's only 2 towns, but still, I think it's funny that there's someone who sells a dead wizard body. Why not? I mean, who doesn't sell dead wizard bodies? That's not weird, is it? So I don't know if it's in like the database for certain vendors and something got changed around or whatnot, but yeah, they all sell his dead body. And then this, I think I was just showing that yeah, the box is here and animation plays, all that good stuff. And same treasure, same stuff down there, nothing really changed. Moving right along, so yeah, this enemy type here, depending on which direction you look at it, and you can see the sword kind of is moving as well. So maybe it's, I don't know if it's the spell or if it's just the sword that they're holding, the chaos sword, that is causing that issue to where it's just like a strange texture glitch deal. So that's something different, kind of strange. But I wanted to show that off. And then yeah, we're in oh yeah, Darmath's key. Darmath. So yeah, isn't that supposed to be Loden or Linden or whatever his name's key? So it's a different name. Will it be a different sword? I wonder. Yeah, you can fail your trap. Check there. So this same exact text dialogue from my understanding too. I didn't see any differences again that I remember of. But yeah, it's fully accessible, even though we frequency game skipped around and didn't do the tower at all. And you can go ahead and get the sword. He says it's heavy. Alaron says no, it's light as a rock, or light as a feather. So at least now we can actually have a decent weapon to fight the final boss with. Because if we tried to go and fight the boss without Frozen Doom or Wall of Bones or the sword, it would have been pretty rough. So there you go, Darmath's sword. Same stats, necromancy is different, is the only thing I believe that's changed on this weapon. But there it is, you can get it. So that is awesome. Here's that music again. But so in the debug version, in the tips, glitches, tricks, and bugs video I made that was on the original vanilla release version, if you come to this area, you can actually break through into the walls. because they weren't properly rendered for the collision, I mean, and you can walk right through them to a certain degree. But in this version, they're fixed, they're fine. The earlier version, this early December 2000 version, you can't break into those walls. So I found that funny because it was fixed and then it got broken again. Somehow. I don't know if it got overlooked or someone copy pasted over a version that was broken but instead of the fixed version. I don't know, but I thought that was funny. I had to include it. This one, I think I was just trying to show, it was another one of those V things with beacon, if I remember correctly. Let me see, because this is right as we were going into the barrows. Yeah. Yeah, V0201. I've seen V0, and it's a lowercase v instead of an uppercase V. So that was just another weird dialogue text thing. And then I think I've seen this before, but I wasn't sure, so I just included it just because then, is when you first walk up to the barrows for the first time from the front direction like that, it kind of just pans around, yeah, and shows you, yeah, let's go, we're going to the barrows. And then showing all the oh no, this one is I'm showing you can leave yeah, barrows items from the guys. I just left the shield, so now I can't continue and give back all the barrows items like you're supposed to, and all the ladders don't exist in this, because the items before, it'll say, a text will stop you and say, I think there's something you need or something you want, don't leave, and it won't let you leave the barrows items. But in this version you can, for some reason, if you want to, and really stop yourself dead in your tracks, then yes, you can. And then this, so I found the gate underneath before, but never up above like this, blocking you from getting the horn until you give back all the barrows items. So I just wanted to include that, showing the gate. Actually, I think, yeah, and then I'm just showing off all the stats and everything of all the different barrows items here. But yeah, that gate, I think I showed in my Out of Bounds edition that it's either underneath the floor, after or before, depending on, yeah, the version that I used. But I never saw the gate up above like that. So yeah, there's another stam for the ring instead of spell battery. I think I was just trying to show off stats, but yeah, in this version too, I didn't play around with it too much to see if I could keep the items. But I just wanted to show you that yes, those are the stats, those are the items, you have to give them away if you want to fight Lugash. The fight with Lugash is the exact same, nothing special. After you kill him, I went back to town. Here's Alchemist 10 now from Godric's 3 that he first started, and look, there's still no restoration potions. Restoration potions I mean, they exist in the game. I've gotten them, and you can buy them, but you can't create them with Alchemist. Even at maxed out level 10 Alchemist, you can't make restoration potions. So later on, yeah, there's restoration. I got 6 of them, but I just found that kind of interesting, that means that they added restoration potion creating at level 3 for Godric when you first play the game, when you first leave Guernia later on. So to me, does that tell you that they purposefully added restoration potion creation at level 3 and knowingly that you can buy and resell them for a higher value with Godric in the first town? Because it wasn't in the earlier builds, or at least this build, I should say. So I found that very interesting. And then, yeah, at last I found the horn. So we got the Sword of Darmoth. We got the horn. We already skipped this section before. And yeah, we already went up and we got our name from the dragon. So let's see what else is broken or out of whack or whatnot. So, but yeah, we did all that. But now we need to leave the desert. And we can't go the way we came above that mountain tip slide thing over there. So we got to find another way to break through the mountains. So luckily, I was able to find one. It's a little bit trickier, a little bit harder. It's all about angling here. So yeah, I ran into it and face planted it for quite a while, as you see, even sped up here. It took me definitely a minute. But eventually you'll get it. It's the same exact kind of concept, I guess, in a way, of getting out of it, or getting into the desert versus getting out of the desert. Boom. So as soon as that happens, I'd recommend using your save states. Save state it. And there you go. You just keep consistently falling. But you need to do not walk forward. If you start walking too far forward, you're just going to crash your game. You need to walk along the edge of the mountain. I say that as I'm like weaving to the sides and not walking in a straight line. So monkey see, monkey do. I don't know. Or don't do, but monkey see. I don't know. But anyways, walk along the mountainsides as close as you can without falling off. And definitely utilize your save states just in case you were to fall down, or off, I mean. And you'll start seeing, as you're walking forward, the textures. It'll disappear in some areas, so make sure you're paying attention to where Aileron's facing forward and keep going straight. And eventually, yeah, here you go. You can see the desert, or the gate in the distance. There's your Barrows. So I think actually I could have turned left here if I wanted to, but I just wanted to show you going all the way up to the gate and turning left if you want to, and then also to see if I could actually land on top of the gate itself. So there, I wasn't close enough. But there, like the top of the gate is not physical, but except for the gate, the little warp thing in the middle there is physical. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that. See, it kicks you off. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, and there you are. Now, I mean, I can't go that way back. The way that I came, I mean, but yeah. Can't interact with the gate. It's still locked because, again, I didn't do Shamsuk's Tower, which didn't unlock the gate for me. But hey, you can go in and out of the desert as you please. So I mean, I guess technically, if you really wanted to, after you reach Talwalk, you could run all the way down here and run through the desert if you really wanted to try and challenge yourself for whatever reason in this version. But yeah. Interesting, huh? Yeah, I got my Sword of Darmoth. Yeah, Cyclops Hurl Star is another one with a question mark. There's a couple items that have the little question mark symbol. But yeah, we're done. We did the desert. So why not heading on our way back, check out Terminator again, see if Neeson spawned for some reason. I think he's still dead under the table. That damn table. So, but you know who does spawn is our little buddy here. you would think, oh, well, Doggle, I already went through the cavern and everything, and then I did the desert out of order. He probably isn't going to be here, but no, he was. Donovan and the other big guy isn't, but Doggle, yeah, just like in the finish game, the base game, even after you get your name, you can then come back and get Doggle, so you can use him for the final fight in the game. So yeah, it's the same thing. The coding, the programming was the same, to where it'll let you come back and get him. But it's the same thing if you go into the cave where the dragon is. He will try and take the horn from you, and that scene will play out, and you will have to fight Donovan, or Doggle, I mean, and then he will leave the party. Oh, but here I was just showing that, so my party's full, and if you try and get Doggle to join you and say, yeah, join me, and then it'll play the dialogue for each of the people, say your other party members, and saying, oh, if they'll stay or they'll go, or you can say, yes, you leave, yes, no, you stay. Instead, it doesn't do that at all. It just freezes. So you have to make sure you have an empty party slot or he will not join you. And here I made some room, and there he is. You can see his level's a bit different. I don't think he was supposed to be only level 9. I'm pretty sure he was higher. Had a bit better stats than that. I think even like he was higher, or maybe he was a little bit lower than Shola, which was level 20? 22? So, yeah, and he's got teleport, so that's not correct. You're not the right school to learn teleport or know how to use teleport, but he knows teleport. So that's a nice little addition. That's, I don't know why or how that got in there, but it is what it is. And then, yeah, this actually pops up in the journal. Many other journal entries, as we've seen, do not pop up, but that one does. That he found it when you joined, and he joined. So, there you go. And then here, I think I was trying to show you another cutscene. Yeah, so here's the same exact cutscene. Oh no, this one's different. Yeah, in this version, Krada is huge versus him being super tiny on the actual island itself. His island, so I thought that was funny. Yes, expose the legend. And you see in all these spirit realm that like the texture animations or stuff in the background is like off too, so. Okay, and then yeah, going to back to Castle Guarnia, all the enemies do spawn. Yeah, you can see the prince there. I was just trying to sneak around him at first, but then I realized later like you didn't have to sneak around him. But yeah, he's there, and then you come up here. Yeah, you could start the final fight. Everything's here. It all works. The beginning scene there, however, is a bit different, but it definitely works. Same text, same dialogue, everything till the end. You'll see. But yeah, but instead of the in the castle, in that the castle background or the map that you fight him on, and then Pachingarat too, it's not there. Instead, you get to fight them on the grassy hill. So that's a little bit different. It's not like it's not done. I'll show you. It's that map was done and in the game, but maybe it just needed to be loaded correctly, or number got missed in the background or something to swap it to the other map or whatnot. But yeah, I found that to be interesting. And then yeah, she always teleported, I think, from that one side to the other like that when they were talking. But yeah, imagine, I didn't show it quite yet. I think I have a picture in here that you can't get the spell of Wall of Bones. And then imagine not being able to go to the desert to learn Web of Starlight or get the sword and trying to fight her with none of that noise. You'd have to use like Acid Wand and stuff like that to try and kill her slowly but surely. This fight would have been a nightmare, or Acid Flask, stuff like that. So here I'm just speeding it up. Again, it's the same fight. You can cast Mirror on all your guys. Verse Element's the most important in my opinion because of fire. Starlight Shield would be good too to reduce her damage that she's doing to you from her physical attacks. Mirror for Frozen Dooms or Wall of Bones that she casts or whatever. But I just did Burst Element and started smacking the shit out of her. And it seemed to work just fine. There you go. Done. And yeah, the king is not dying. He looks to be just fine to me. Maybe here they were working on the model with his leg cut off and him laying on the ground dying. He just wasn't there yet, or they just accidentally loaded the wrong version of the king. But yeah, there he is. And then I'll be quiet here for this next part too, because it'll play the final scene with a different song as well, but then it'll air out on me right as you're trying. Oh yeah, Aileron instead of my name is !Flee or !Version. There's Flee. Yeah, there he is. So yeah, I'll be quiet so you can hear the different music, but then as soon as it tries to play the credits, it'll air out on me. So stay tuned. Yep. And there you go. Another breakpoint. Oh, I've ran into so many of those during this journey. That's for sure. So, reload the game. My last save state where I was. And then I realized, yeah, you didn't have to sneak around Sheridan. He's just walking there. And as long as he walks out of that cutscene zone over there, you actually can fight him over here if you hit the act button, select button for him, and fight him here so you could get a second sword of his if you wanted it for whatever reason. So you can actually use it against him to fight him again there. So that's just a little FYI if you really wanted to have two of Sheridan swords. And then if you actually, interact with him over here, then yes, here's that battle scene. Completely full, it was complete. No issues with using it, fighting him there. So, yeah. He'll just go wander off in his other direction. And then I tried going back again. I tried using the 4 megabit mode instead of the 8 to see if that would make any difference. To see maybe because the 4 version instead of the 8 maybe would have, they were going to take out other objects and like stuff that wasn't necessary. And yeah, there was no cheats. I couldn't use any cheats, nothing, no codes, no nothing in this version. But yeah, trying to see with the normal lower graphics version and everything, maybe it'll take out that table in the end and Neeson will appear from the dead from underneath the table or something like that. But it didn't work. The table's still there, nothing's removed. If anything, do not try and play in the 4 megabit version. All it does is, I'm showing it off here, is it'll randomly like reset the date and the time and the NPCs, and they'll just skip and jump back to where they originally spawned in, and that's about it. And in some areas, especially more busier areas, like see, it just did it right there. They just teleported back. That wasn't me using a save state. And in like some areas, like in Talwalk or near Shemsuk's Tower I tried, it'll just freeze the game. You can't do anything. I think that's because they played in the 8 megabit version until like the last month or so. And that's, from my understanding, when they actually started taking out things for the 4 meg version for people who didn't buy the booster pack. And they cut down. There were so many different changes. The songs, a lot less things, textures. The Lizard King wasn't there. So, yeah. But anyway, that's a different topic. This I'm just showing off different, the different items or, armor and equipment and all that good stuff. That was different from the base game. So here, the game, you get -1 stealth, and same with the other negatives. Oh, this is another blown up version of, I think there's a better, if you go back to when I first showed that, if you wanted the full copy of that. But yeah, that's different too. The dragon leather, so you got the 10 to stealth and the 6 to protection, but this version you only got the 6 to protection. The chaos robes were the biggest differences, I think, from 25 to 100 magic resistance. I just included this picture because the troubadour check with the fairy dryad queen, it was kind of hit or miss. I had a clip that I took out just because it was just random if it would let you skip her troubadour check or not. So yeah, just kind of like in the base game too. The horn, just kind of seemed like it was floating. I thought that was kind of strange. And the horn stats are different too. It's only 18 int, and it would give you 6 to troubadour. So with my 8 in this version, I got to pass the check. You'd only need to have 2 to get past. And then in this version, though, in the game, you don't get that bonus, and it has a higher int requirement. So yeah, and then Kendall's hat, Jasper's hat, whoever. Yeah, that was different. That was the first thing that stuck out when I started playing the game. So yeah, I just wanted to zoom in, and you could see the texture. Yeah, you could see the lines around it. The staff of Lugish. Yeah, same thing. So this one had spell battery, and it 102. The 2 spells, 5 pole. And then in this version of the game, instead of the spell battery, it had the stamina and it had an aspect requirement too. So a lot of things had aspect requirements that were different. Interesting, huh? So I wonder if it is actually supposed to give you extra stamina, but then they added spell battery later, or if spell battery was just stamina was a placeholder for spell battery. But yeah, instead of that weird jacked spell that doesn't work, that's what the Moon Gym did in this version with the Sensor and charges and everything. And then yeah, there's a description of Restoration Potion again. I think I showed it earlier, but just showing it again, that yes, they were in the game. You couldn't make them with Alchemist, but you can buy them and find them. And then yeah, Shamsuk's Amulet. So same thing, you got 10 spell battery, only 15 int. Same int requirement, but you would get the stamina instead of the spell battery, and yeah, aspect. Must be Lunar of Ehud instead of Shamsuk. So yeah, definitely older names not added in. Same with the Darmoth one, instead of Lugesh or oh man, I'm drawing a blank. You know whose sword I'm talking about. Lodin. Yeah, there you go, Lodin sword. Yeah, so that was the only difference, was the Necromancer. Everything else is the same, but the Necromancy resistance was dropped to 50. It got nerfed from 100. And then, yeah, some of the female Mirari shopkeepers, I noticed at a glimpse when you first close their shop and reopen it or talk to dialogue with them, they'll be T-posing it. So I got a couple clips of them doing their wonderful T-poses for you guys. And I've seen it before with like enemies, like in battlefields, like trolls will do it. And then, oh yeah, this is where you'd get the Wall of Bone scroll out right before the entrance of the bog area. Doesn't exist in this. So yeah, no Wall of Bones. If I didn't break into the desert, I'd have been screwed on that final fight. Here's Warfang. Again, aspect different. And I think that's about it. I think everything else is the same. The spells, the plus, and everything. Yeah, the damage. No, but yeah, no, yeah, just no aspect. Yep. And I think that's about it for the picture time. And then also moving on to other prototypes. This is NES World. I was just showing you under the games and their prototypes. They have a Nintendo 64 tab as well. And these aren't all confirmed out there. These are just known whereabouts, like they have been spotted in the world somewhere. Not necessarily saying these ROMs are out, but these are prototype carts that somewhere at some time some people have documented it, or even some of them have been seen on eBay and sold. Right there it said the description about eBay. Takes a second to reload it because it's not the actual site. But yeah, there you can see like somewhere out there are other prototypes. So that really, this got me going when I found this out, just because I'm thinking, oh man, there was someone's name on that one, so I was trying to reach out to them too and everything on a couple of these. And yeah, it gives me hope that there's other versions of the game, there's other prototypes out there that we can get and see differences of, and I can make more review videos. But that about wraps it up, guys. I know this was a really long video. Oh my gosh, I think this is the longest by a bit here. I've never done an over 2-hour video where I was almost talking the entire time, damn near. So I hope you guys enjoyed it and you got to see and learn a couple different things, and hopefully, like I said, the lore masters will play this game, this version, and maybe try and trigger other cutscenes and dialogues that maybe weren't in the finished game that they knew about. So yeah, this is just me literally ramming my face into every corner crevice, just like I did with the desert, to see if there's somehow I could like fall through the floor and get teleported back up and just magically, gracefully fall into Shamsuk's tower so I could review this last portion of it. of the game that I wasn't able to. But unfortunately, again, I couldn't try the 2 different 4 and 8 meg versions. I tried running along the outsides here. I tried going on the outside and the inside of it. Nothing worked. So, but yeah, I'm hoping bringing light to those other prototypes and trying to get in touch with the individuals who released this one would be awesome too, just to see if there are other alternate versions of the game that we can continue to explore and keep preserving the history and getting to know more about the game and uncover more of its mysteries, because there are still mysteries unsolved, including that hidden cave or door in the tower of Chaos Island. So yeah, I'm hoping we'll get to explore more later on. But anyway, long story short, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. I don't know what it'll be, but hopefully one day we'll find more stuff and get to explore together.